Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the first episode of Chaotic Compass, and I appreciate you tuning in. This is taking me so long to work up the nerve to sit here and talk by myself to my phone and my computer in my closet. So I appreciate you joining in, and it's so crazy how it is just taking me so long to just work up the nerve to talk to nobody. But I have found where, like, I just come up with these crazy situations, and I've been through so much craziness in my life, and you just have to focus on finding the funny things. And so that's why I created this podcast. I want to help people find funny, find the good, find the positive. And so here we are. And it's taken me a stupid amount of time just to sit here and record this. And I still feel really silly sitting here recording this, but I had watched this Sunday morning. Yes, I'm that old. I watched CBS Sunday Morning, and it took me. I was watching an episode with it had Paul McCartney on it, and he was going through, he was recording his third solo album, and how much trials and tribulations he'd been through, and how he was dealing with quarantine, and it was so crazy. He had to figure out his own motivation. Like, he had mentioned, he would record a little bit, and he was recording it on his phone, by the way, so which gave me even more to record this, because it's like, you don't need all the amazing equipment. He was recording it on his phone. He would be like, oh, I think of this, and I would put it in his English voice, and I can't do really good English, and he would put it in his phone, and he'd be like, oh, I'll just come back to this later. And he was like, you know what? No, don't come back to this later. You need to sit here. You need to sit here and finish the bloody song. Paul McCartney, who's worth $1.2 billion at 78 years old, needs motivation to record the song. So if Paul McCartney can find the motivation to record another amazing song, which his third solo album just dropped last month, I'll do a little plug there because so many people are watching this, but if Paul McCartney needs motivation to record a song, what the hell are we doing? Stephanie, sit here and record the bloody episode. So here I am, recording the bloody episode. It's like, here we go. I was trying to save this to the end, but, cheers to you, Paul McCartney. It's a little plug. Bull Rock is one of my favoriteest, is that a word? Most favorite ciders. I don't know, you guys cider drinkers, but this is my favoriteest drink of all time. Local Virginia, North Carolina, look it up, Bull Rock. Cheers to that. So, 2020, I'm pretty sure you're here just for the episode title. Yeah. Screw, I was going to flick it off, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know if that's allowed on YouTube or podcasts, but, podcasts can't really see that, but screw 2020. 2020. Bleep myself out. What the heck? It was one of the craziest years, y'all. So much. It was just you think you got it under control, you're quarantining, and then it was murder hornets, and you're and everybody's just oh, no more, and then it's And then it's like 2021 happens, and then it was like even more crazier stuff, and then you're like, I don't even know if I want to be on this planet anymore. Like, how do you, like, I need to get, well, Elon Musk and like figure out how I'm gonna get off of this planet. That's basically the only solution here. You know, I I I think we can all cheers to the fact that we just want to leave 2020 behind us. I mean, cheers to that. So, I mean, but for real though, like, what a year. Like, I know you all can relate, but besides the pandemic and the lockdown, but as if those things were like small and just, but like 2020 was just hard. It was just a hard year. And it's like every time we would get like ahead, like to figure it, well, at least for me, it was like, I think you're getting ahead and there was just like something else thrown and you're constantly like pivoting and moving and jiving. And it was just like, so here I am sitting in the closet recording a podcast because that's how I want to spend my 2021. I almost said it again. 2020 is done. We need to move on. This is how I want to spend my 2021. I'd rather hide in the closet and drink. So let me just recap 2020 for us, for our family. So as I drink a drink, 2020, we lost our 12-year-old lab. She was not my best friend. We were not tight. She was not the greatest. And, right here, we weren't, besties, like ride or die chicks. Okay, so Beamer, I met her. She is my husband's dog. Like, there's no question. I met her, 5 years ago now, and she was crazy. She was pretty much crazy up until the end. And she basically had almost knocked me down the first time I saw her. I think she did that to everybody. It was just like a common thing. But the first time I met her, yeah, just jumped on me. She was just so much love. But it was muted by the fact that it was like I was not her dad. She always, that was the love of her life, and I was sneaking in there on that. And but we were not homies. And she passed away in 2020. She was 12 years old, or almost 12 years old, and it was horrible. Like, I know she's just a dog, but to witness that was top 5 of the hardest things that I've had to deal with in my life. And in the midst, it was the end of April, in the midst of quarantine and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. I was homeschooling the kids, if that's even a thing. It really wasn't homeschooling. It was just the kids were at home. And I was actually, I was privileged enough to be able to work from home. And she was deteriorating rapidly when all of the quarantine stuff was happening. And so I was blessed enough to be able to take care of her in those final days. And that was literally top 5, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But, so, the hard thing, the good thing, that was literally such an eye-opener for me as far as this dog and I hate each other. But I love you enough. Get on my couch. I know it's the most comfortable place for you right now. Come hang out on my couch. I know that you love marshmallows and gravy on your dinner. I know that you can't walk around the block, but you love it so much. Let me put you in this wagon. Even though I kind of freaked out and didn't dig it as much as we thought you were. But, yeah, these are my notes. I have to have notes to keep on track. So just, we got to spoil her in the midst of such a crazy time. You know, we were all just so afraid of everything, and we were able to take that time and slow down, because I think if we were in the midst of regular, like, quote, quote, regular life, we wouldn't have been able to cherish that as much. I think we probably would have missed all of it. We would have not been able to really enjoy those final days like we did. So that was such a huge blessing for us. But I'm going to play a little clip for you here of one of the final moments with Beamer and Ryan and I. Ryan got to sing Frozen, the movie, karaoke to Beamer. And she didn't really give two flying flips about it, but I caught it on camera and it was amazing. So here's that. Let it go. Let it go. And the winds of the floor. I don't care what they're going to say. Storm rage on. It never bothered me anyway. Oh, shit. So he's probably going to kill me for showing you or letting you listen to that little bit. But that is like meant as far as just the amazingness that we were able to witness. I mean, who sings karaoke to your dog? If you do, I need to see videos, by the way, so I can put this on here. Just saying, if you're not alone, can't beat them, join them. I just loved it, and that had actually gone on for quite some time before I started recording it. So thanks for my husband for being a VIP there, and even if he does kill me, you know, maybe a couple of these episodes will get out there in premeditation, I don't know, whatever. So the other hard thing that happened this year, so my son's grandfather, so not my dad, my son's dad's dad, passed away this year. Not from COVID, but he did pass away. It was a long battle with the nasty cancer, and Liam took it crazily. It wasn't like he was just sad, like or crying all the time. It was interesting to see a little 7-year-old. He's 8 now, but you know, it was interesting to see a 7-year-old process death. And me as a parent, and I'm sure if you're a parent, you can relate, or just being a decent human being, to be able to shelter anybody from pain. You know, we literally had just lost Beamer. It was like that Monday, and then by that Saturday, his grandfather had passed away. So it was just like boom, 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 rapid fire of just crap. And Liam, he didn't cry. There was a couple of moments where it was just super, super sad, but it was like me having this conversation of, you know, how are you feeling? Just trying to get him to talk about his feelings, you know, like that's what the mom thing you're supposed to do. And all he could gather, and this was, I think it was the beginning of May, all he could do was tell me that 2020 sucks. And it was like, you're not wrong, but we don't say sucks in this family. I mean, now we do, because it's literally like all that was going on, but I had a hard time not laughing. It was like, 2020 freaking sucks, Mom. And it was like, well, oh, you're not wrong, but how do I tell him that he is wrong for saying bad words? So, but right there before his grandfather had passed away, it was like one of those things where I guess, like, you know you're gonna die. I don't know. I've never almost died. And you're going through life's things, and you're trying to, like, just show appreciation, or I don't know, get everything off your chest so you can just die peacefully. Well, he like pulled me aside one day and it was like, look, Steph, you know, I really appreciate you and for bringing Liam into this world, and he has just been such a blessing, because by the time I met Liam's dad, he was, almost 40, and they, I'm sure that his, the grandparents had just pretty much given up on being grandparents, and so he was just really appreciative of me, blessing him with a grandson, and he was just really thankful for that. But then he brought up the point of, and thanks for not killing my son. And that's an episode that we will get into another time, but it was like, validation. Like, one person actually saw, and it was like, oh, right in the... Anyways. To have, like, these segues of getting from one point to another, I mean, I can't top the dog karaoke moment, but, everybody has been through such hard times in this year, and it's been really interesting to see, it's like my stories fail in comparison to other people's, like, just struggles and failures and stuff, but it's not all struggles and failures. There wasn't, again, on CBS Sunday Morning, there was this episode where they were showing businesses that have literally thrived in the pandemic. As far as, there was this company, it was called Domestic Fashion, and this, I guess, Etsy had put out this saying, hey, masks are going to be needed, so you should probably go ahead and start pumping those out. And it's like, whoa, that's interesting for Etsy to have that kind of, like, knowledge, and then to go ahead and let their small, I mean, they're all small businesses know, like, what's up. And the one guy from Domestic Fashions, he was a fashion designer that was struggling in New Jersey, and so he just started making masks, and masks were literally was keeping him open and paying the bills. And then when somebody was like, oh, can you get a shirt to match my mask? And it was like I never thought about that. Like, you can get a shirt to match your mask. Like, I'm over here with, like, the crappy blue ones that are like the throwaways, but I keep using it over and over again because I don't want to go and buy a nice mask because I'm thinking that this is going to blow over, but obviously it isn't. And then, this guy is making amazing masks that match outfits, and that you can be trendy, and you can match your purse or you match your scarf or whatever. And I'm over here, like, looking, like, obviously I gotta buns for days, and I have bought a mask. Okay, and I bought my daughter the exact same mask, and it's sunflower, and it's okay, and all the kids have legit masks now. And here in Virginia, everybody that's 5 and older actually has to have a mask to go anywhere. But I'm not a rule maker, I'm a rule follower. But I never thought of having your mask match anything. I'm literally, as soon as I get out of the store, I'm ripping that crap off, and I'm like, trying to breathe the air, like, dramatic, yeah. But I've never thought that you could, accessorize, like a mask was an accessory or a statement or any of the such. So, I mean, props to that guy, and his business has just exponentially taken off. Even like Beyonce, was, wearing his stuff. I'm like, go you, that's so awesome. Just to hear some of the cool stories as far as what has pivoted and, like, the good that has come out of such a disgusting year, but, with all of the difficulty we have so much good. We bought this house, by the way, so I get my awesome cubby hole in my closet. I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, literally the kids are all like, I can't find a kid for... It felt like an hour, but it really wasn't that long. They were playing hide and seek and they found this hole. Like, I didn't even know. It's like, there's my closet. And then this hole. It basically wasted space. But anyways, this year we bought a house. And then, go back to the first part of this. And we bought a house with my parents. And we all lived together in awesomeness. My husband bought a truck. He had been working out of his Toyota Corolla with his business, so he finally was able to buy a truck with the business, so bravo to that. And our other business, our charter boat business, bought a second boat, y'all. Something that the business has been in business for like 18 years, and they finally were able to buy a second boat. Like, crazy things had happened this year, but so much good has come out of it. And it was just one of those things where I had to step back and stop looking at, like, this sucks, I can't go sit at a bar. Which, by the way, I'm like, I drink a lot, whatever. But, it's one of those things, like, you think that all the things that you take for granted. I never thought that I wouldn't be able to just sit at a bar. That's crazy. But so much good. So many good things have happened. And it's taken me a while to look back and reflect and to realize that there's been good, there's been funny, there's been so much awesomeness that has come out of 2020, but I really don't want to go back through 2020. I'm looking forward to this year, especially because I'm going to be here with you guys more. But I'm ready to just forget 2020. Like, let's just move on. Let's focus on the future, focus on what's in front of us. And in the midst of chaos, in the midst of the darkness, which I have been in, I don't know about you, but I have been in, you have to find the good. And it may not be funny. I'll give you that. But I do try to find the funny. I can figure out a way to make things funny. Find the good. It's so hard at times. Like, it's really hard at times for me to just, sometimes, like, when I'm in that dark, like, not like super dark, but like, am I in not so good places? It's hard to find just the good. But to take a moment, take a break, climb in your closet, climb in your hole, and find the good. So, here's that. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to my first episode. Find the good.